I would like to welcome you to the next presentation in the session on automation. Are you ready? To be precise, I would like to talk not about automation being ready, but about drivers being ready to use automation. The results I'm going to present today are part of the work conducted within L3 Pilot. L3 Pilot is a big European project that aims to test and study automated driving functions as safe and efficient means of transportations. Within the project, we conducted a big driving simulator study in which we assessed the impact of repeated usage of motorway functions on its acceptance and usage. Today, I would like to present results from that studies on the following topics. So on a high level, we look at the impact of user characteristics on the evaluations of automated driving functions. And to be more precise, we look at the impact of technology readiness on the evaluations of an automated driving function. So as a starting point, what does technology readiness mean? Technology readiness is defined as people's propensity to embrace and use new technologies. Or in other words, it more or less describes how willing users are to use and test new technologies. There's research that shows that technology readiness is linked to actual system usage. In our study, we assessed technology readiness via one questionnaire item. This says when it comes to trying a new technology product, generally, and then the driver can choose among the last, in the middle, among the first. So based on this item, we more or less get 3 groups of participants that are divided based on their technology readiness. As I already mentioned, the data is based on a driving simulator study that we conducted to explore the change of user acceptance and behavior with repeated usage of an automated driving motorway system. In our studies, the drivers were invited to test an automated motorway pilot during 6 independent sessions that took place at 6 different days. In these sessions, they had drives that endured between 30 minutes and 90 minutes of driving time, and these drives were designed in a way that they covered everyday motorway driving situations. In these drives, the drivers were free to use the ADS as they would do during normal driving. We had 2 groups in our study. One group tested L3 conditional automated driving systems. The other group tested L4 high automated driving systems. All or both implemented systems kept the vehicle automatically in its lane. It kept the speed and distance, and it overtook slower vehicles. The 2 implementations differed with regard to the frequency of boundary conditions, so that is the frequency of takeover requests. In the L3 conditions, these were more frequent than in the L4 condition. And also the takeover times varied with the L3 conditions having 15 seconds of takeover time and the L4 high automated driving system providing 45 seconds of takeover time. The 2 conditions also varied with regard to the instructions for takeover requests. This means who was or who is responsible for driving safety in a takeover situations. In the L3 conditions, it is always the driver. In the L4 conditions, in the end, the vehicle is responsible and can maintain driving safety via minimum risk maneuver. In our experiment, drivers filled in a questionnaire after every driving session. An extensive version of the questionnaire was filled in after the first and after the 6th driving sessions, so after first contact and after prolonged usage. In this questionnaire, we asked various questions regarding the evaluation of the system on various levels and topics. And the following results are based on these questionnaire items. They're always analyzed with 3 ANOVAs, which include the factors technology readiness, time, so this means after first contact and after 6th session, and ADS level, that means level 3 versus level 4. If we look at the technology readiness, you can see here the sample description of the 2 subsamples. So we have 30 drivers for each ADS level. And as you can see for the technology readiness, for both groups, the distributions amongst the different technology readiness level is very similar for the 2 conditions. In the following, all items are scaled from -2 to 2 with negative values indicating a negative evaluations of the ADS. If we now come to the results, I would like to start with results on the evaluations of the functionality of the ADS. So these are questionnaire items that directly addressed on how the ADS worked. These are items like the system acted appropriately in situations or the system worked as it should work. For such items, we find a significant effect of ADS level. The L4 ADS is evaluated as being more reliable. We have no effects of technology readiness or of time. Next, we look at how drivers experienced using the system. These are items saying, for instance, driving with the system active was comfortable or stressful. For such systems, we find a significant effect of time, but no effects of technology readiness or ADS level. So this means comfort increases with time, stress decreases. On a bit higher level, we look at the trust of the system. The item here is I trust the system to drive. Here we again see that trust increases with time, and we now also find the effect of technology readiness on these answers. We can see that drivers with higher technology readiness get higher trust in the ADS. To assess higher levels of evaluations, we use the van der Laan scale. With this, we measure the experience usefulness and the experience satisfactions with the ADS. If we look at the experience usefulness, we find a significant effect of ADS level and, more importantly, a significant interaction between time and technology readiness. This interaction means that for participants with medium and high technology readiness, we can see an increase of experience usefulness with repeated usage. However, for participants with low technology readiness, the experience usefulness decreases over time. If we look at the experience satisfaction, we can see a significant effect of ADS level. The L3 ADS is experienced as being less satisfying than the L4 ADS, and we can also see a significant effect of technology readiness. The higher the technology readiness is, the higher is the experience satisfaction. Last, I would like to talk about items that assess behavioral intentions to use and buy the system. The first item is I would use the system during my everyday trips. Here we can find a significant effect of time, significant effect of technology readiness, and what is most important, we have significant interactions between the various factors. These interactions are based on the fact that the willingness to use increases over time only for the subgroup of medium technology readiness, and this is also the only subgroup for which we can find the effect of ADS level on the willingness to use the system. If we look at the willingness to buy the system, we can see a significant effect of ADS level and a significant effect of technology readiness. Drivers are more willing to buy an L4 ADS than L3 ADS, and also drivers with higher technology readiness are more willing to buy an ADS. Now I would like to sum up the results of what has been presented so far. So if we look at the evaluations of the system functionality, we can see that this depends mainly on the maturity of the design of the tested ADS. There are no effects of technology readiness on this very low level of evaluations. If you look at the experience of driving with the systems, like the experience stress or comfort, we can see that this is mainly influenced by time. So with repeated usage, drivers get used to the system, they gain trust, and then the experience driving with the system is more comfortable and less stressful. The impact of technology readiness becomes evident if we look at higher evaluations concepts, like, for instance, the experience usefulness or the experience satisfaction, and also if we look at behavioral intentions. Here we can see that with higher technology readiness, the ADS is evaluated more positively. And what is maybe even more important, we can see significant interactions between technology readiness and other factors. So for instance, there are items where you can see an impact of other factors only for drivers with medium technology readiness. Other drivers, for instance, with high technology readiness, they evaluate the ADS quite positively right from the beginning and stay on a high level. And there are items like the experience usefulness, where we can see that with low technology readiness, the evaluations of the ADS can get less positive with increasing experience. So to our understanding, these results mean that technology readiness is an important factor that needs to be kept in mind if it comes to the evaluations of ADS and its acceptance. This is because it does not only impact the level of acceptance, but it also interacts with other factors like development over time. So on the one hand, this means that studies that are, due to whatever reasons, based mainly on participants with high technology readiness, might overestimate future acceptance of new systems and also the willingness to use such systems. And these studies might underestimate the effect of other factors like system design or repeated usage. And we also believe that for successful large-scale market introductions, as it is planned for automated driving to happen during the next year, technology readiness might be a relevant factor to consider. For instance, if it comes to development of training programs for the drivers. Last, I would like to thank you all for your attention, and now I'm ready for any questions.